and it takes all day to get there. On the side of when the train stops to pick people up, there's people with stuff on their heads selling, or people reaching up to the train selling fruit and different things that they eat down there. So there was a white lady on the train with me, and I bought her fruit. To this day, I don't remember what it was. I didn't know it was a tropical fruit. It was down there, fruit. Chirimoya or something. Are you going to eat that? This is the white lady. I said, yeah, of course I'll eat it. That's why I bought it. If I eat that, I would be, diarrhea and everything. I said, well, I eat it. Yeah, that was fine. My body was adjusted to. I just never got that stuff when I traveled. It was something about when we lived in East Africa, especially down in Dar es Salaam. That's the tropics, and it's like this masjid would be full of animals, lizards, and everything. Just you couldn't get rid of them. In fact, you wouldn't want to get rid of them because they're gonna eat it. They keep the place clean. And when you're walking by a tree, you see big lizards running all up and down the tree and stuff like that, And so everybody there was getting amoebas, stomach stuff, And I never got nothing. And I drank the water, and I lived just like her. And I thought about it after I left. I said, man, I was born in Arkansas, and I used to live right off the bayou. And all that stuff that they have over there in the summer, they have it in Arkansas and Louisiana. All them bayous and mosquitoes. Like right now, if we out back in the summer, my family get ate alive by mosquitoes. I don't get bit by them. Then they stay mad. I said, there's nothing I can do. One of my friends, Dr. John Branyan, y'all might have read about him a little bit. Dr. John Branyan. He was kind of curly-headed. He had that Negroid, that upper class Negro look from the old days. I mean, educated in Lausanne, Switzerland, the chief resident at Chicago he lived in Chicago for a long. He was Johnson Publications' friend. All of them, that crew, that was his crew. And so we was in a hotel. It was a Wenatchee hotel. Right across the street was over there was a New Africa. Over there was other big hotel. Kilimanjaro was over here at the hotel. New Africa was right down the street. Those were big hotels like Hilton, owned them and stuff like that. But we lived in a Wenatchee hotel. That's maybe it's still there even. But it was an old hotel from way back during British colonial times, and it was by that time it was the people's type hotel. So it didn't have air conditioning; it had a fan and stuff like that, and no elevators. It only had one floor. They did serve tea at 4:00 every day. You was gonna get tea because it was a British colony. So that's the way that went. So one night I was the next morning when we got up, Doc had big webs all on him from the mosquitoes. He said, I hate you. I hate you. I said, dog, Doc, you hate the brother? I mean, you got to give me some reason why. Last night, you were just sleeping and purring, and I was under the net. You was out from under the net. You didn't use no net. You didn't even use the net. and you never got bit. I watched you by these mosquitoes. I said, Doc, maybe you smell better, taste better, you attract them. And that's what happened with my family. I said, y'all are tasty. Does nobody want to bite me? I said, I don't know what it is, but it's a type of immunity. And it has something to do with some type of sickle cell may repel certain, I don't know. Anyway, so that's been life. But anyway, back to trapped in the headlights of history. Ever since we've been here, when we came here, we knew basically. I would say we definitely knew what we was going to deal with when we got here because we know what we had survived in Oakland. And here they threw everything, including the kitchen sink, at us. And it didn't work. All the people, Magbag America had coached everybody into this. All the other people, then the phone tree attack by the sisters, like at that time, if you didn't give a fatwa that the sisters lacked, they'd phone tree your behind. Boy, and you couldn't get around. And, but they jumped on poor Imam Musa, and they was on the roll. I said, I don't care what you do. I ain't going for it. And when you withstand that, you're getting pretty tough. But the thing is like one of the ladies, one of the main ones, used to be married to a brother that owned a bookstore out there. And in later years, she put the word out on me. Imam Musa did this about the marriage and that, another, which I didn't technically have nothing to do with. So they had, at that time, we was over on 8th Street, they had a sheikh up in one of them African sheikhs, head of one of the big movements over there. I'll tell you the name of the movement, we all know it. And so she went up to New York to get him, and he came back down here to give her a fatwa on marriage. That the guy can't get another wife and all that. He said, you have no case. Yes, what he did. And he did it in that African English sounding, no case. You have no case. I said, well, that's the way that go. But the point was, you had to have an independent mind because they sick everybody on you. They load up the bases and then they pull back. They pull everybody back. They don't know that you've been through that one before. And the beautiful thing about prison and being a mess up, you always went to the hole. And the hole was you being there by yourself. So all the stuff that they do, you're already conditioned for it. You're not, so what? Everybody's on a trip. One thing you learn in the hole, can't nobody come get you out. They can put you in there by snitching on you or something, but they can't come get you out and they can't do nothing for you. And they're not going to be there with you. And when you stand up for everybody and that penitentiary bus come, you're going to be on it. They're going to transfer your behind. And ain't nobody else going to be on it because everybody just like if you part of a union, yeah, we going to talk to the boss this way. And we want you to talk to him. You the shop for him. And you go in there talking, boss man, And you look around and say, now, ain't that right, everybody? They're looking all up in the air, tying their shoes, right? and you done stuck your foot in it. After so many times, that's normal. That don't bother you. You thrive on that. You learn, you teach yourself to thrive on that. So I'm going to speed it up here. The people here, the people in Oakland, you got to understand, just a quick view. All the masajid that we had, let's say at one time, we've had 10, but just say 8, full functioning, full of people, right? And everybody is going through their thing. And then after a while, they all gone. In fact, Ahmed Shama came here 12 years later after they had backed up and asked me, what do we do? They was trying to see if I was still, kind of, what do we do with our bay? I said, hell if I know. 12 years? I said, you was on our property at that time in 2008 when I was talking to the police, telling them to get off our property and do. And you saw what was going on. I haven't seen you since then. And now here you are. In other words, I don't care what you do with your bayah. You mean like allegiance to me? Go give it to Abdul. I didn't tell her that. Go give it to Abdul Malik or somebody. That's who you've been inviting all over. Because they think that acceptance, man, that peer group pressure should be a crime because 98% of the time it works on people. You're going to be alone. You're going to be by yourself. That includes your crew. It includes everybody. I don't care, everybody, and they on that team. That's how we trapped everybody in history. It's like they wore uniforms that said Boss Man's team. All name tags, all stuff right across, just like down at Times Square, stuff go tick, 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 the news right across the head. That's the way everybody, when they walk in, tick, 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 it's right across the head. Okay. I say all that to say, Martin Luther King had a dream in 1963. By 1967 and 68, it turned into a nightmare. If y'all ever heard of this stuff. The thing, and he tried to start in Chicago. We was doing that in Oakland at the same time. We technically started in 1968. By 1970, it was on a roll. When they looked around at us, they'd already been dealing with the party, and they said, we got to wrap that up. So mid-year, I just said, well, y'all can have America. Because the white man, he had the judges, the lawyers, the police, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and he still got all the judges, and he still got to cheat. I said, dog, boss man, you got all of that and you still cheating? You know what I mean? I said, no. I just left. That was a wonderful decision. So when you leave, you get a chance to air out, and you learn, and you realize what you're really doing and how that fit. There's a worldwide transition going on. Where do you fit into that? Right? And you get that picture. Okay. So tonight we'll go out. IEC, did you bring some flyers with you? The one, good, good, good. Some of these right here, very good, very good. We just go out there and put them on the car and stuff like that. Uh, Basically, what I want to say is this: this is like we made baboons out of the system. That's the way it is. We have, and we're gonna do a bigger job of making bigger baboons out of them. This go round, it's gonna be even funnier. It's gonna be hilarious. I say that because they don't show signs